Hi, everyone. Okay, so I feel obligated to let you know that you're not going to hear about me actually being chased by a real bistro chair. So let me start by letting you guys understand what the bistro chair represents. The bistro chair is is fear that I'm walking through. So I am in the process of building a home, and this is going to be my first home, and I'm doing it all by myself. I'm single. I don't have a strong family system that is helping me and supporting me. I'm literally in this on my own, and it's very scary. And so I have like close friends that I talk to about it, and one of my friends, I sent her a text when I had my first fear crop up, and I sent her a text in the middle of the night that said, I'm pulling out of my contract. I'm not doing this. And I'm throwing my whole life and all my dreams in the trash. Okay, good night. And so then the next morning, I wake up to her text and she said, "Are you sure you're not being chased by a bistro chair?" And then I was like, huh? And then she said, "Read this and then you're going to think it's so funny. I just happened to be reading this passage in my devotional this morning." Okay, so then I read the devotional that she sent me and it's describing a greyhound in a bistro. And the greyhound has a fear of thunder and lightning. So whenever he hears thunder, he panics. So he's in the bistro with his owner, and um, he starts to hear some of the bistro chairs moving around in the bistro, and he mistakes that for thunder, and he starts to panic and he starts running. So as he starts to run, his leash gets caught in other bistro chairs, and the bistro chairs are starting to follow him, and he thinks the thunder is following him, so he continues to run. And as he's running with the leash dragging the bistro chairs, it's picking up more bistro chairs, so the sound is getting louder and louder, and he's running from these bistro chairs that are not actual thunder, and he thinks it's chasing him and just getting more and more intense as he's running. And it's until he finally stops that his owner has the ability to unleash the bistro chairs from the leash, untangle everything, and calm him down and assure him, like, you're in a bistro, you're not being chased by thunder. These are bistro chairs. So that's the title. That's where that comes from, because the bistro chair now signifies my fears, or things that I make a big fear that's really not what it is. My real fear is doing all of this on my own, but all these other things that are cropping up, it's kind of like I already know they're there and this is part of it, but I'm letting it become a bistro chair that's chasing me. And it's not until I stand still and let God assure me that I'm safe. I'm just in the bistro. I'm not about to get struck by lightning and thunder. And I'm okay. He's got me. So I came in here to talk to you about my huge bistro chair. So I am purchasing a home with 6% interest rate, because the market right now, that's where we're at. And I was looking at the schedule of how I'll be paying my interest, and how much money is going to interest and how much money is going to my house. So my house is almost $300,000. And when I looked at it, I'll be paying more than that in interest on a 30-year mortgage if I decide to stay in this house and keep the home. I got sick thinking about paying more money in interest than the actual house. And I started to panic and I started to run and I started to think, I'm not going to do this. This is not, doesn't make any sense. And I was running from this big bistro chair, like, oh, I got to pull out. This is not going to be okay. I can't do this. And then when I finally sat with it and thought to myself, realistically, right now I'm renting and my rent is the same amount that my mortgage is going to be. All of that rent goes who knows where. My lease is up in October. And the last time my lease was up, they raised my rent $700. This time went to renew. Who knows what they'll raise my rent to? Probably more than what I'll be paying for a mortgage. So realistically, I'm paying all my money to nowhere and nothing now. So letting paying more money and interest to the into principal scare me from home ownership is actually kind of silly when I think about it, because as a renter I have no control over what happens to me. I have no control over what happens to my where my money goes and how I'm what happens when I pay my rent and what happens with that money. My options are continue to pay it or move out and find something else where rent is high everywhere. Those are my options. But as a homeowner, I am making an investment. I am building equity and I have much more options. I can refinance when interest rates come down, which are projected to come down in 2024. I can rent out my home and purchase another property and have someone else paying for my mortgage on that home. And also, I can generate income from the home that I'm purchasing. I can sell my home once I have enough equity to make a profit of it on it and move to something else when interest rates come down. Or I can continue with my mortgage the way it is and make extra payments that pay down to the principal and pay off my home sooner. There's so many things that I can do as a homeowner where I have more control in my hands and I can make decisions based on what is good for me than there are as a renter where I have no control, no decision making power at all. So that's my big bistro chair. I'm moving forward with home ownership. I'm still excited. And I'm sure there's going to be some more bistro chairs along the way. Someone put in the chat that there was a frog in their toilet in the community where I'm building. That was like a little bistro chair. I was like, oh. But anyway, as they happen, I will come in and share these bistro chair moments. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Friday. I am hopefully going to have an update on where my house is with the building process today. So I'm excited to share that too. Have a great weekend. Bye.